I'll do the pledge first.
Let's do the pledge.
Okay.
Go ahead, Tess.
Start with salute.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I think you're supposed to pass these out.
Okay. I was wondering who's in charge. And then the other, we have both pieces, or are they stapled together? Okay, great, here you go. Thank you. That's just to keep. Read later, Richie, take it home.
Dave? Okay. Raise your hand. Okay. I state your name. Do you solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the State of New York?
Do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the State of New York
And of the United States?
and of the United States.
In my position of, and then state your position.
In my position of town supervisor.
Okay. And to perform the duties as assigned to the best of my ability, so help me God.
And to perform the duties assigned to the best of my ability. To my best of my ability, so help me God.
Very good.
Okay, now we have everybody
Sign in, right?
sign.
Thanks, Ray.
This is
Steve.
You're signing twice on the front page and then twice.
Gotta watch it,
Yes, ma'am.
because you gotta notarize it.
yeah. Richard,
Thanks, sir.
I thought I saw one for you.
I may not have to sign it.
Yeah, you.
Yeah. I've already got one right. I'm good.
Did you leave your pad out? No, I do remember. It should be at the very almost end.
Oh,
Alphabetical.
Yeah.
oh, there it is.
Thank you.
I knew it was there someplace.
Now, then, do we take these and let him notarize them out there, or do we bring, we have more people that are going to get sworn in now?
Whatever.
You're good. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
I thought I signed in your spot.
No, I'm not. This is the notary spot. I think Ray's gonna send it to notarize. Does anyone need a pen? Ray's doing a lot.
Steve.
Yeah, I gave him all the.
Oh, good, he's on now, okay. Thanks, Ray.
No problem.
Full service judge.
Hey, we tried. Come on, paper.
This is as close as I want to get to your professional efforts, though.
That's fine by me. Oops. Missed one.
Okay.
Other black guys too, though.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, get everybody?
I believe so.
Okay, as far as that is concerned. Okay,
Everyone that was here. Okay.
now we need Alana and Jane and Joan.
What about Kevin?
I didn't see one for Kevin.
What about Kevin? Is he not getting sworn in?
He's already been sworn in.
Oh, yeah?
But we do have others. Do you want to call them up? Oh,
Yeah, I know.
I was just making sure he had all the ones he needed.
Joan, Jane,
Joan,
and.
You wanna come up?
Alana.
Joan, Jane Smith, you want to come up? Ilana Nielsen, you have Ilana? Pat?
We'll sit down so we don't look like we're getting sworn in again.
I'm sorry.
Do you want to do the oath again? We were going to do the oaths first and then start our own meeting. That's why we could do it again for them. Pledge of Allegiance.
Once is enough.
Just kidding. Just kidding, Steve.
Defend the Constitution of the United States and the state of New York. Perform the duties as I see as council member.
I don't know what all your positions are, so. Okay? So help you guys.
So help me God.
Okay. Just two places. One here, for the exit, and then down there, one with the other exit.
Should we sign both pages?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
There's a second page too. Today is the 8th. 1818. Oh, thank you.
Documents later, so you have it.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, thank you. Can I borrow your pen?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Mrs. Smith, I don't think we've ever met. Richie Wisman. Pleasure to meet you.
Who's going to take them out to sign the oath? You know, Jill do it?
Okay, and I need the, so I gotta notarize them. No, not those, the ones you signed.
There you go.
It's not working. I'll take care of it.
Jane, when you're finished, you're going to go out and sign the oath book with Jill Jarena and Joan and Ilana too.
Okay. Gotcha. I'm going to leave them right there for you. Okay?
Very good.
Thank you.
No problem.
After you finish giving it to him, then you go out and sign the oath book with, where Joan's going out there. Can Ilana just leave that right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Thanks.
No problem. No, no. I can move out of here if you want to start your meeting or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be great if you want to
Okay.
go do that.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Take your time though.
No, I,
We like having you here. We don't get to go to your house.
please don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a place to be.
Yeah. All right, you ready? So good. Should we close the door? We're all set? Okay. All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order. And just would like to say that We already said the Pledge of Allegiance, so I'd like to start by telling everybody how delighted I am to be here. And I also thought it would be most appropriate for us to begin with a thank you. We have a couple of those. First of all, I wanted to thank Mr. Richie Wisman and the Highway Department for all that hard work on Christmas Eve. I've noticed it started snowing at the worst possible time, and the highway guys were out there after, you know, I guess taking Santa around, I'm not sure. But you were out there, and we really appreciate you, and that was a tough night to be out, but you were there. And the next person that we really need to thank, in addition to our highway crew and Richie, is Andrea Casey and Elizabeth Panko. A lot of you know, you heard about, you guys might have been in Florida, but you did hear about the ability to prepay the taxes. And that came up suddenly, and our town clerk and Elizabeth Panko, her deputy, jumped and got everything taken care of, and we had a lot of people, and I'm going to let Andrea report on that, but we had a lot of people that took advantage of that, and we're extremely thankful. So Andrea will tell us more about it, but some towns couldn't do it. They couldn't pull it off, and our town did, and we just want to say thank you. Great job, Andrea. So we're really pleased. The next thing I wanted to go over in the supervisor's report is that we're going to have a, well, we're going to post things. I don't know if anybody saw what's on the website, but and how we'll communicate. We'll talk about that in a minute. But we are going to have a new town board meeting structure. Circle back. We're going to change the way we've done our town board meetings. In addition to moving the table, we're going to try some things. If it doesn't work, we'll switch it around. But we're going to have one formal meeting, one regular official formal meeting will be the third Thursday of the month at 7:30. And on the first Thursday of the month, you're used to the first and the third Thursdays. The third Thursday is going to be the formal meeting. Now the first Thursday is going to be a workshop, a work session for the town board. And we will be in here in this room, and we will be signing vouchers and having discussions about things that are on our mind that we want to talk about and getting a lot of work done. So that'll be our first session. And so the formal meeting will be in the second meeting, which will be the third Thursday. So I hope that's clear to everybody. The first one is not going to be filmed. It's not going to be on tape. It's going to be a work session. I thought it was kind of boring to be watching people sign vouchers and talk about where the money's coming from and who had this bill. So, but that's a way it'll enable us to stay caught up. It'll enable all the town board members to know everything that's going on, and I think we're going to try that, and if that doesn't work, we'll change that too, but I think it'll be a good way to start.
But maybe you should mention we're not going to be voting on stuff at the workshop meeting, right?
Absolutely, yeah. It's an open meeting. Anybody can come. They're all open meetings, so you feel free to come, and they start at 7:30, but there will be no voting on anything. It's literally, we're just going to be working, signing vouchers, and looking at the financials. Okay? So that's our new town board meeting structure. In addition, I wanted to report on the year-end balances. We have, and I don't know if these were these out in the...
Oh, I have extra copies here.
We have copies. I don't know if anybody wants these. These will be posted. This one-page synopsis of the year-end balances. It just gives us a place from which to start our year. So we haven't started signing any vouchers for 2018 yet. But you should, the fund balances between the general fund and the highway fund and capital projects, it was at 1,695, 1,695,000. And then we paid some of the bills all the bills that came in on 12/31, which they were about 216,000. That leaves us with fund balances of $1,442,201.31. You need this? You have it. So we're in about the same place we were a year ago. So there's not a big difference. You will get that in a supervisor's report every month. And I wanted to also make sure that we talked about communication. And if you will go to the town website, on the front page of the website, there is a little box on the right that asks you to insert your email address. If you go there to put your email address, I'm going to send you, before the meeting, I'll send you the agenda, any resolutions we've got prepared in advance, and I'm going to send you a copy of the financials that I'll be presenting to the town board at the meeting. So as soon as they're finished. Now, if there's any changes to them after they've been emailed out to you, you'll see those changes the night of the meeting. But at least it'll be more than a week in advance of the meeting. You'll see the numbers, you'll see the agenda, and you'll see any resolutions we've already got prepared. So sign up. It's called Union Vale Mail. So put your address in, and we will send you regular communications about what's going on. So even if you don't come to the meeting, you'll still get the information. Okay? That's really important, because one of the things we promised was to communicate a lot, and not everybody watches the film, the TV channel, and not everybody goes to YouTube, but we really want everybody to know what's going on. So please sign up. And lastly, in my report, I would like to say that we are going to have to conduct audits in this year. The way that it works is the supervisor's books are supposed to get audited every year. And in addition, and that's a full audit, and in addition, the court justices, the tax collector, the town clerk, they all have cash audits. So they're done every year. And we have a little bit of a dilemma in that they haven't been done in 2 years, neither the supervisor's books or the cash audits. So we will be talking about this in our next meeting. It's going to cost us a little bit more because we're doing 3 years at one time. But we'll get them done. We're going to get them all done quickly, get it behind us, and I'm sure everything will be in good shape, but it'll just cost us a little bit more for the CPA. All right, so that effort is already started, just to let you know. All right, board member comments?
All right, if I may start, I would just like to say, you mentioned Christmas Eve in the highway. I'd like to also mention it was a kitchen fire on North Clove Road, Christmas Eve. Our code enforcement, George Cole, came right out.
Wow.
And took care of the needs right there, the family, and I want to say thank you. He's very responsive and comes whenever we need him, day or night. So thanks again, George. Did a great job as usual. And also regarding paying the property tax, we have to give our county government, Mark Molinaro, and the people in the tax department credit for anticipating the situation and having the people in the county prepare tax bills and the information needed so the town clerk and our tax collector could proceed and collect that money in advance for people that wanted to prepay their 2018 property tax. So it was a good example of government working together and things getting done to help the people.
Good, that's great. Thank you, John. Hello,
Oh, very nice.
How are you?
Councilman.
Sorry. We'll come back to you. You get settled. Dave, how about you?
Well, I haven't really done much this last month. I will be taking a webinar this coming month on the things that we have to report.
Great. Good.
That's all I've got for now.
Perfect, thanks. Steve?
No, I don't have anything this month.
All right, great. Karina?
So we're on reports of council people?
Well, just
What are we on?
comments. Do you have any comments? Anybody you want to thank? Or?
Sorry, worked my shift. No, I think it stayed pretty calm through the end of the year. I appreciate all the work everyone pushed through to the end of the year to get all the reports and stuff that we have. Finished up some stuff with the changing of the supervisor. And then I, like Dave, am signed up for a webinar through the comptroller's office. And going forward, I think that's like in another 2 weeks or so.
Great.
January 18th.
Terrific. Thank you. Okay, so now we are going to go to our town highway superintendent. Richie, you've got a couple of items on the agenda here. Can you walk us through?
Two things I want to discuss, and if they get approved tonight, is to get the repair for truck 11. Our town has been sitting up at Funk's up in Hudson for some time now.
When did it get there?
Back in September.
Okay.
So I'd like to get this done. Got 2 quotes. We did request a quote from another vendor, and he has not responded. I've contacted him twice, maybe 3 times, definitely twice. And as far as our procurement policy, I should be all set to go.
Okay.
The one that our Kells, we took it to Funk's, wanted to get it, you know, I like working with the guys, they're nice up there. Our Kell is a little bit cheaper, but now we gotta turn around and have it put back together, because they analyzed it, they went through the truck to figure out what was wrong with it. It's apart, so they gotta put it back together, and then we have to get it towed from Hudson to Newburgh, which is gonna be 500 plus. So it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
So I want to get that approved. You guys want to discuss that first? Going on Chipper?
Those are the same quotes that everyone has seen previously.
Yep.
So I'll make the motion that we go ahead and have Ben Funk complete the work.
Okay, have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Steve?
Aye.
Thank you.
All opposed? None?
All right,
Motion
on to
carries.
the Chipper. Oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, the motion carries, so go
Yeah.
ahead.
All right, on to the chipper. I got a quote from Jesco for $2,643, and another one from Westchester Tractor for $3,165. Jesco is a John Deere certified motor mechanic, which is a John Deere motor in the chipper, and it's an electrical issue with the chipper, with the motor. And they are cheaper in price, so I'd like to go with those, with them. On
It's
repair.
under 2,900,
Yes,
so 2 quotes will do it?
yes.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
Yeah, I'll make the motion, we go ahead and have that repaired at Jesco.
Okay, have a second?
Yeah, I'll second that Jesco does it, since it's a lower quote.
I just have a
Discussion?
question about it because it, I'm sorry, I don't have, I left the paperwork. But it said like the computer part, like we're basically retrofitting a part or something, like it's not made that way anymore?
No, it's the wiring. They have to redo the wiring on it just to match it. They got the plug will go in, and they have to redo the wiring.
Do you feel the money is still well spent putting into this one, or if the parts are outdated, do you think we should look into purchasing a new one?
A new chipper?
Yeah,
No,
or is
no.
it,
No, there's
Right.
not
does it matter
enough
that
hours on
it's
this.
retrofit?
Yeah, no, I would definitely.
What
go with
would
the retrofit.
replacement cost of a chipper that size be?
Oh,
Somewhere near $25,000, $30,000?
Yeah.
30, 35, I think.
Yeah, that's what we spent on it. And it's got lower hours on it, it's in good shape. All the safety features are great on it, it's just.
So it's
this is
worth-
a
it's
minor
worth
electrical
repairing.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
Great.
definitely worth repairing.
Okay. Any other discussion? No? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries, thank you. Okay, Richie, great. Now, Ford 2. Richie,
Ford 2.
introduce us to this thought.
I can't maintain the town safely with 3 guys.
Can you
myself.
is that microphone on?
I
Okay.
don't know, can you hear me? Good.
You can't, all
All
right.
right.
Steve, will you turn that over to Richie, just yours?
The microphones are really for the camera.
Just for the camera, not for
They're
everybody.
not.
All right, so what it is,
Move up one.
I've had 4 guys for 10 years. I got cut down to 3 guys in this past year, for this year, the budget. We can't do it. It's not safe. I can't find somebody with a CDL that wants to come and plow part-time. So people want full-time jobs. I have somebody lined up. I'd like to fill the position, if we can find the money somewhere. But we're running the trucks too hard. We're trying to scurry around town to keep up with everything. It's just not safe. It's not, we're not getting it done in time like we should for travelers to get up in the morning and get to work. School buses, if there's a delay. So
Okay, so,
It's just not working out. I'd like to go back to 4 guys full-time.
all right, do I have a motion to hire a 4th full-time person for the highway department?
I'll make the motion that we reestablish the position that had been eliminated in the 2018 budget.
Okay. Is there a second?
My concern is where's the money coming from to pay it, since the
Well,
budget.
somebody's got to second it, and then we'll have the discussion.
All right, I'll second it.
Okay,
There's a need.
so board, let's have a discussion about that.
So basically, it comes down to the CDL.
Yes.
Well, no, I don't think it's basic. Is that true?
It's hard
I
to
think
find a
that's what
part-time
he's-
CDL driver. People want a full-time job.
Yeah, if they got a
And-
CDL, they want to work full-time.
And then,
When you need a full-time person.
when the economy was down a little bit, a couple of years back, it was different. There was guys out there. Now it's, I don't just want to hire somebody with a CDL that I don't know, I don't trust.
So you've had 4 people for 10 years.
Yeah.
This person was dropped from the budget right at the end of the process, and you weren't even informed.
No,
You did
was
not
not.
know. Nobody discussed it with you. You were taken by surprise.
Yes,
You now feel that you can't serve the town properly.
correct.
We need to reinstate that position, and you will hire the right person to fill the position.
Correct.
Okay, so, and the cost of that position would be
$51,000.
$51,730?
Yes.
Okay.
Same as the others.
All right. Now, there's a couple ways, let's all discuss this, there's a couple ways to go. We can pull a little bit from all areas. We also have a highway fund balance of $295,124, which is as of Friday, or this morning. So, I mean, it could be where that money is pulled from that source, since we have the money there.
If we get that kind of money, yeah.
My understanding, fund balance is not used to pay for, like regular bills, like employee paychecks or.
I think we'd be allowed to move money to.
I think if you're establishing a position, you have a budget amendment where you brought fund balance into a line item to do that.
Right. And we could do that, we could have that resolution written up for the next meeting.
Right.
Tonight, we would just authorize the fact that we're going to bring that person in, and then for our next meeting, we could write the resolution and confirm where the funds are coming from. Does everybody feel comfortable with that?
I also believe, and maybe I'm misspeaking because it was just in my conversations with Patty and Ryan, that a lot of that decision came because in looking through, especially now that we have the different system, the time tracking system, on a lot of days of the year, you're only having 3 employees work for whatever reason. They're taking time off, they're taking vacation, they're out on sick. We've had a lot of people with very extended illnesses. So when 3 people, basically 3 people and you have been doing all the work.
At an accelerated pace, which he doesn't feel is safe to continue.
Yeah.
Right, but he didn't, when somebody was out like on an extended leave, he didn't come and say, I can't really do this without them, I need to at least replace this person.
Well,
He didn't have that option.
Well, if you use that thinking process, then he's only gonna have 2 people.
Yeah.
If we cut the staff down by a person.
Because people do get sick.
If someone is out on a sick leave, you can't replace that position by law.
No, but you can create a temporary position because you can't work without.
Do you honestly think that would have happened
person.
in the previous administration?
I think it was worth a discussion.
I don't think it
But
would.
nobody discussed it with me. So,
Well, I think
it was just thrown
regardless
out.
of.
But anyways, we have a
Yeah.
motion on the
Regardless of that,
floor, it's been
yeah.
seconded.
I think we understand what his needs are, we understand where we could possibly get the money from, which we can talk about at the next meeting.
Yeah, I have a couple of options too, if, you
Okay.
discuss that.
All righty,
We'll come up with it. It's here.
it's definitely here.
You know,
I believe that the 2, cutting the 2 positions that were created of the 1 extra temporary for, it was 40 hours a week for 16 weeks, 1 for the winter and 1 for the summer. If we cut that, because you didn't have that was created because it went down by the 1 full-time employee.
Right.
You should definitely
would
cut that summer
at
person
least-
because,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'll
Offset.
free up that money, yeah.
No, I'd rather have the
Wouldn't
4
cover
full-time
it.
guys and not have a summer person.
So that money could be taken off the 51,000 as we
Right.
look for funds.
Well, I believe
So
you
why
had
don't
1
we-
extra summer and 1
why don't we
extra
do
winter.
this? Because why don't we vote on the motion to hire the person, and then we have January the 18th to finalize our discussion about where the money's coming from. Because it'll give us a little more time, we could share that information, then we'll be prepared when we get in here. Is that fair?
What's January 18th?
The next meeting.
That's our next meeting,
Oh, it's our next meeting? Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
couple weeks.
okay.
Gives us a couple weeks to pull
Less
the
than 2
numbers
weeks.
together, less than 2, yeah.
10 days.
Yeah, okay, all right.
That fair? All right. Want to take a roll call vote, Andrea?
Okay. Supervisor Moss?
Yes?
Councilman Frazier?
Aye.
Councilman McMorris?
Aye.
Councilwoman Kelly?
No.
Councilman Welch?
All right.
Thank you. Okay, motion carries. Thank you, Richie.
Yeah, you guys-
We'll work on those numbers and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you
Or
very
you can
much.
stick around if you want to.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. Okay. Town clerk, after you finish typing, what's your report? Oh, no, it's okay. We just have a little bit of, I think it'd be nice to talk about the amount of people that prepaid.
Okay.
Oh, do you know what that number of dollar was?
I don't know the amount.
It was 179,000, I believe.
52, I
Okay, so the town clerk report, sorry. We just wanted to highlight, how many people took advantage of coming in to pay their taxes early. Like Councilman Welch said, the county was phenomenal in getting us the information that we needed in order to facilitate this. So we were able to put the electronic tax roll on the website almost immediately after receipt, and people visited the website and then were able to write their checks or come in. We had 71 people come in person, and a total of 152, you said, thousand?
152 or 159-ish.
Yeah.
$1,000.
You know, come in a little bit earlier, which is also nice. And then the tax bills, will go out officially no later than the third week in January, now that they are officially printed. So it was successful, and my deputy Elizabeth Panko and I, managed to do it, and everyone was happy to pay their taxes, which was, a surprise. That's a weird
While you're mentioning, why don't you mention to
statement.
those that prepaid how to get their official receipt now?
Yeah, so as soon as the tax bills are obtained and we organize them and so forth, the people that have prepaid early will receive their tax receipt. We gave temporary ones just to show that they had, actually come and paid their taxes. So those people will be prioritized, and they will be sent out, and then, then we'll be able to start collecting during the real period.
The normal collection
Yeah,
period.
the normal time. So
And
that's
it's
it.
good. It takes a little pressure off the cash flow to get early tax revenue. So it's a great job all the way around.
Thank you. Okay, should we do the appointments now, or?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay, so I
through.
would also like to appoint my current deputy, Elizabeth Panko, as deputy town clerk for the upcoming year. And should I do the tax collector?
Yes.
Okay, and Joan Miller has been appointed as tax collector for the year 2018.
Congratulations.
Very good.
Both those ladies. Thank you very much. Okay, so now we're going to move to the resolution part of the meeting. And I have an appointment to make myself. I, Betsy Moss, do hereby appoint John J. Welsh as Deputy Supervisor and Leette Raincourt as Bookkeeper, both to be compensated at a rate consistent with the salary established within the approved Town of Unionville 2018 budget. Do you accept?
I accept.
Okay, great. So glad to hear. All right,
So Leette's going to accept?
yeah, she is. Leette is back at work. I'm going to start with the resolution 18-1, and then we'll just go around the table. Whereas the town board of the town of Unionville is in need of consultants to advise on matters legal, planning, engineering, accounting, financial, and information technology for the year 2018. Therefore, let it be resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville does hereby retain and authorize the firm of Vandewater and Vandewater of Poughkeepsie, New York, and attorney Jeffrey S. Battistoni as counsel for the town for all daily legal needs, including all prosecutions, defenses. And I just want to pause there for a second. Welcome aboard, Jeffrey. We're glad to have you, or you will be in a minute. But I did want to tell everybody that we interviewed 6 different law firms. And we have some needs in this town: land use boards, municipal needs, litigation needs. We want to make sure we're covered in all areas. And we found a stellar firm who was local, who understands our county, and who has the bench strength, I guess, if you will, to handle all the needs of the town. And we're really happy to have Vandewater here, and Jeffrey. And he'll be around a little bit after to speak with people if anybody has any questions. And the town board of the town of Unionville, we're continuing our appointment with Morrison Associates as our consultants, with Peter D. Sotero serving as our town engineer. Again, you want to raise your hand, Pete. Thanks for being here. You'll also be around to say hello after. Yep. Thanks for joining us, Pete. The town board of the town of Unionville hereby authorizes the supervisor to prepare a request for a proposal for an accountant to conduct the audits for the town supervisor and bookkeeper's books. And be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville shall continue the appointment of Theodore J. Eglett Jr., CPA, as accountant for the town. He conducts the cash audits for the town clerk and the tax collector and the others I mentioned before. Be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville hereby authorizes the supervisor to prepare a request for proposal for an IT consultant. And be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville shall continue the appointment of Kevin Vesey of KV Systems as IT consultant until that time when a new consultant may be appointed. And be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville hereby authorizes the town supervisor to sign all necessary paperwork.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, 18-2, resolution appointing and reaffirming members and chairpersons to boards, committees, commissions, and councils. Whereas the town board of the town of Unionville is empowered to appoint residents to certain boards, commissions, committees, and councils, and whereas the town board of the town of Unionville is empowered to appoint members of boards, commissions, committees, and councils as chairpersons, and now therefore be resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville does hereby appoint Kevin Durlin as chairperson of the planning board for the year 2018, and be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville does hereby appoint Jane Smith as chairperson of the zoning board of appeals for the year 2018, and be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville does hereby appoint Scott Kinnery as a member of the planning board for a 7-year term expiring December 31st, 2024. Be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville does hereby appoint Alana Nielsen as a member of the zoning board of appeals for a 5-year term expiring on December 31st, 2022. Be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville does hereby appoint Daniel Richards as chairperson for the Fire Advisory Commission for the year 2018. And be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville does hereby approve or reaffirm the following committees, commissions, councils, and boards. Planning board, 7-year terms expiring on 12/31 of year listed. Kevin Durlin, chairman, 2018. Pasquale Cardellini, 2019. Scott Kinnery, 2024. Michael Mastacetti, 2020. Kay Saglabeni, 2023. Carl Schultberg, 2018. Alan Natchez, 2022. Alternates, Ralph Mondello, 2019. John Rapetti, 2021. Zoning Board of Appeals, ZBA, 5-year terms expiring on 12/31 of the year listed. Jane Smith, chairman, 2019. Jeffrey Wimmer, 2020. Daniel Toohey, 2018. John Hughes, 2021. Alana Nielsen, 2022. Board of Assessment Review, Alice Pitts, Tom Murphy, Kay Saglabeni, Rob Casey, and Sue, what's her, how do you pronounce her last name?
Michelle.
Michelle. Okay, thank you. Fire Advisory Commission, Dan Richards, chairman, John Del Bene, John Welsh, John Rapetti, George Kolb, David McMorris, and Kevin Durlin. Conservation Advisory Council, Tana Jones Kinnery, chairman. Anthony Scotti, Bill Keating. Ethics Board, 3-year terms expiring on 12/31 of the year listed. Brian Johnston, 2018. William Sadler, 2019. Dennis Spinney, 2020. Corinna Kelly, 2019. Peter Bonk, 2020.
Here a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. All in favor?
I just have a question. We've been trying to reestablish the CAC, but we hadn't. So how did this come together?
Well, according to those 3 people, they are the CAC. I guess we should apply for and ask for more
It was
people.
dissolved by a prior town board.
It was not dissolved?
It was never dissolved.
Never dissolved.
It was never mentioned at the organizational
Just
meetings in the
wasn't-
last 2 years.
Yeah, you just didn't put it on the list, but they still existed.
And they were never asked to give any input, but they were still effectively
Yeah,
considered on the board.
they're on, they were never resolved, and they're now looking officially for 2 more members. So we had a second, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. David? Or Karina, do you want to do this? Sorry.
I'll do it.
Sorry.
Resolution 18-3, appointing necessary town employees and officers for the year of 2018. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville hereby appoints or acknowledges the appointments of the following people to the following positions for the year of 2018. Assessor, Robert Tapp. Assistant to the bookkeeper, payroll clerk, Kim Maycutt. Budget officer, Betsy Moss. Building inspector, George Kolb. Bookkeeper, Liette Rancourt. Court enforcement officer, George Kolb. Constable in charge, George Treadwell. Constables, Robert Casey, Timothy Kraft, Ronald DeGusto, James Miller, Jack Harrington. Data collector, Lee McEnroe. Deputy Registrar of Vital Statistics, Elizabeth Panko. Dog Control Officer, Mary Jean Calvi. Fire Inspector, George Cole. Head Groundskeeper, Jacob Gusnell. Justice Court Clerk, Christina
Ramba.
O'Sullivan. MS4 Coordinator, George Kolb. Recreation Director, Jessica Dickinson. Recycling Center Administrator Tom St. Ange, Registrar of Vital Statistics Andrea Casey, Senior Justice Court Clerk Jill Jarina, Tax Collector Joan Miller, Zoning Administrator George Cole.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Dave, you want to do 4?
Resolution 18-4, setting salaries, wages, and holidays for 2018. Be it resolved that the following elected positions be paid the following salaries for 2018. Town council person, $5,760. Town clerk, $44,270. Town highway superintendent, $58,060. Town justice, $10,288. Town supervisor, $20,060. Be it further resolved that the following appointed positions be paid the following salaries for the year 2018. Budget officer, $3,035. Building inspector, code enforcement officer, fire inspector, MS4 coordinator, zoning administrator, $69,595. Deputy supervisor, $200. Dog control officer, $7,502. Equestrian director, $2,536. Finance officer, bookkeeper, $32,815. Justice court clerk, $5,620. Planning board chairperson, $1,805. Records manager, $258. Recycling center administrator, $11,159. Registrar of vital statistics, $1,479. Senior justice court clerk, $6,126. Webmaster, $1,091. Zoning Board of Appeals chairperson, $1,351. Constable in charge, $500. Well, okay, we'll talk about it. Be it further resolved, the following appointed positions be paid the following per meeting for the year 2018. Planning Board member and alternate, $100. Zoning Board of Appeals member, $100. Be it further resolved, the holiday schedule for the town of Unionville for the year 2018 shall be 1 New Year's Day, Monday, January 1st, 2 Martin Luther King Day, Monday, January 15th, President's Day, Washington's birthday, Monday, February 19th, Memorial Day, Monday, May 18th, Independence Day, Wednesday, July 4th, Labor Day, Monday, September 3rd, Columbus Day, Monday, October 8th, Veterans Day, Monday, November 12th, Thanksgiving Day, Thursday, November 22nd, Day after Thanksgiving, Friday, November 23rd, Christmas Day observed Tuesday, December 25th.
Thank you, Dave. All in favor?
Aye.
Well, there was a discussion about the constable in charge. Now, that was a thing, at one point you had said, was that stipend legal?
Tom Jacobello said yes.
Okay, I mean, I don't know if you want to leave it as a stipend. I thought we had discussed about making that in addition to his
Isn't that additional?
Hourly rate.
To his hourly rate of
$1 an hour.
$1 or $2 an hour.
It's, I assumed when I put this, I assumed that it was just, it was a stipend and then it's separate from his hourly rate. This is in addition to. Kind of,
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I had a question about it because it had come up previously, and Tom Jacobellis had answered that it is permitted, so I don't have an issue with it at this point.
And it was budgeted, correct?
right,
It
that was budgeted.
I believe
Yeah, I mean, we had budgeted $500.
It's been past
figuring that
practice
it would
too,
be-
correct?
No.
No?
No,
No.
it
I
hasn't.
think they were
That's
paid
not-
hourly.
That's why we had to ask Tom.
According to Dave.
Yeah, it was an injustice, he was not getting any
Right.
uptick in his pay for being the constable in charge, so it was addressed. with this proposal. So I think we ought to leave it, that it's been budgeted, and he does an effective job.
He does a great job.
He does a great job.
Yeah, and I think it's not a lot of money.
So all in favor?
So leave it as a stipend? I'm
I
just
leave it
trying
as
to
a stipend
clarify.
It is just as it's written here. These are just what these people get.
Well, it's in there as a salary.
It's in there as a salary, that's
Right.
why, you know, I mean,
So,
you're
that's all
saying
he's gonna
he's gonna
get.
get $500.
No, but he's also on another list that has an hourly wage.
Okay,
All right.
So he's on two
Okay.
lists.
as long as he's,
Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
only want to get that.
right.
all right.
All right, so all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, all opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you, Dave. Steve, do you want, I'm going to do 18.5 just so I can explain the first two, and then you can take 18.6, or
That's fine.
would that be okay? Resolution 18.5, authorizing town supervisor and council persons for the year 2018. I'm going to recommend that the first two, be it resolved that the town, I'll read both of them and then I'll explain. Be it resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville does hereby authorize the town supervisor to purchase a $250,000 blanket bond for the purpose of covering all employees who collect money, including the town clerk, the bookkeeper, and the town justices. And be it further resolved that the town board of the town of Unionville does hereby authorize the town supervisor to purchase a $500,000 blanket bond for the purpose of covering the tax collector. I'm going to pause there. I found out this is a normal resolution that is carried over from before, and I found out in checking all of our resources that we actually don't have this coverage. We have a liability bond in the amount of $50,000. And because it was such a difference between what we are obligating ourselves to do, what I did was I asked the liability carrier to extend it to 500 because he was afraid he'd walk out the door and something terrible would happen. Yes, things like that happen. But the reason we're tabling it tonight as a resolution and moving on to the next one, Steve, that you can pick up, is because I think the board, we need to have a discussion about exactly how much coverage we think is the right amount. Because we didn't have 250 and we didn't have 500 as we've told you we do. We found out today, just by confirming, just checking all the boxes off, that we don't. So while we're at it, we're going to take the next 2 weeks and have a discussion about what we need, and we'll put a resolution together for the next meeting. Okay?
All right.
All right. So Steve, you want to pick up the next? So those two are tabled, and we'll pick up the resolution from here.
Sure. Resolution establishing schedules, procedures, mileage reimbursement, and other necessary approvals for 2018. Now therefore be it resolved, the town board of the town of Unionville does hereby approve all the following. The town of Unionville employee salary rates are established as in the approved town of Unionville 2018 budget and are attached as an addendum. The salary payment schedule will be bi-weekly, monthly, or annually as determined by the employee position. Town board work sessions will be on the first Thursday of each month at 7:30 p.m. and the official meeting of the town board will be held on the third Thursday of each month at 7:30 p.m. in the Unionville Town Hall for the year 2018. Official meetings shall follow modified Robert's Rules of Order as determined by the supervisor or a majority of the town board. The rules of procedure for official meetings shall be as follows. All comments and questions shall be addressed to the town board. Public comments and questions on resolutions shall take place prior to the consideration of any resolution. Public discussion will take place prior to any executive session or the close of the meeting. The supervisor or majority of the town board, when deemed necessary, may add additional agenda items.
Do you want to hand that off to anybody? You can.
Keep going. All purchases are required to be made in compliance with the town procurement policy and all applicable law. All bills will be submitted on town vouchers for payment. Vouchers are due to the town clerk's office daily by the Park and Recreation Department, 2 times weekly by the Highway Department, and weekly by the town hall offices. Mileage reimbursement for town officials and designated employees performing their duties while on official town business will be set at the IRS rate of per mile of 54.5%, 5 cents for 2018. Petty cash shall be as follows. Tax collector, $100. Town clerk, $200. Park manager, $200. Building department, $100. Recycling center, $100. And highway superintendent, $100.
Could I interrupt this for 1 second? Since we don't have a park manager, I think we gotta split that out and have money for the head groundskeeper and for the recreation director.
Does the groundskeeper use
I'm not
petty
sure.
cash?
I don't know, but
We did
We
a
don't have a park manager.
resolution last year where we did, I'm trying to remember when it was for. It was towards the end of the year, we did it for Jessica, so that would be for recreation to have petty cash.
Yeah.
She
That was
believes
like
it's
the
hers too,
second half
$200.
of the year, so
Yeah.
I don't think Jake,
I don't think he needs
like,
it.
he doesn't get cash receipts, like, he doesn't do stuff like that, right?
well, he may need petty cash to buy something.
We could, why don't we let him ask
For his
us?
maintenance, you know, he's in a bind, he needs some maintenance item. I think he should have access to petty cash.
Do you want to add $100 for the groundskeeper, head groundskeeper?
Yes.
Okay.
And
$100
the
for
park
the head
manager becomes recreation director?
recreation manager or director?
Recreation
She's the
director.
rec director, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's out plowing snow at all hours, he may need petty cash to buy something.
Sure. All right,
So,
head,
I
head
think he
grant,
should
you think
definitely have
100's enough? Because we're, with Jessica, we'll have
Let's-
200?
Give him 200.
Okay, $200. And the rec director
Yeah.
has $200?
Yeah, I think that's fair. You got a woman here trying to signal you.
Steve, when you were reading about highway, as you know, I'm old and deaf, did that say something about that they're to put bills in twice a week or twice a month?
Twice a week.
Just continue reading, please.
Yes, 210.
You're on 610,
The
right?
rental of 2 Time Moore Park Road shall be $1,600 per month, and the rental of 11 Time Moore Park Road shall be $2,300 per month. Transfer station recycling permit fees shall be as follows: $50 annually for Unionville residents, $30 annually for Unionville residents over 60 years of age. Non-residents shall pay double, and $30 for a 10-punch trash ticket. The official publication of the Town of Unionville shall be the Poughkeepsie Journal. The official depositories of the Town of Unionville shall be the Bank of Millbrook and Tompkins Mahopac National Bank with MBIA to be used for investment of funds. The insurance broker shall be Brown & Brown of New York for general fire and liability insurance, and Bill Humphrey of Dutchess County Agent for medical insurance. The Town of Unionville shall utilize NYMER for general fire and liability insurance, and MVP shall be the primary medical insurance carrier, and United Health is an additionally designated carrier. Active members of the Unionville Fire Company may be covered by the town's medical insurance at their discretion and expense as per New York State law. Additional insurance coverage through AFLAC, New York State Retirement, and New York State Deferred Compensation are available upon request. The Town of Unionville will follow New York State and Town of Unionville FOIL laws and will respond to FOIL requests within 20 business days, except in situations where the amount of information requested would make the 20-day turnaround impractical. The town will acknowledge all requests within 5 business days as required by law. There will be a 25-cent fee per page for all documents requested. The Unionville Town Board will accept comments on the tentative budget at the September official Town Board meeting and at the October official Town Board meeting. A public hearing will be held in November on the preliminary budget prior to the official Town Board meeting, as required by New York State law, and after which the budget will be finalized. The Town Board will create a review and then annually review and revise, if necessary, the following documents consistent with the New York State Controller's guidelines and all applicable laws. Town financial control and process policy, including credit card, electronic wire transfer, and online payment policies. Town procurement policy, employee manual, including an internet use policy, town escrow policy. Whereas Town Law Section 123 requires the Town Board to audit the supervisor's financial records before January 20th of each year, and whereas prior year financial records and reports are not usually available before January 20, therefore it is the policy of Unionville Town Board that the Unionville Town Board will review and audit or authorize the engagement of a CPA to perform the annual audit of the books and records of the town supervisor prior to March 1 of each year. Town clerk, tax collector, justice court, and building department books and records will have a cash audit performed by a CPA before March 1, 2018.
Thank you, Steve. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Any discussion?
I just had 2 questions. Is MBIA, I tried to look into them a little bit, are they like FDIC insured? Are they acceptable to the New York State Comptroller for investment of funds?
They are, but I couldn't find where we have used them recently, so.
No, I don't think so.
I thought, it's in there because it's been in there in the past, and they are insured, but I thought that when we get ready to embark on that strategy, we would talk about it separately.
Oh, okay. And then back in 6.5 where it says the supervisor or a majority of the town board when deemed necessary may add additional agenda items, I would just like that to read a majority of the town board. So when 3 members deem that it's necessary or an emergency. Because clearly if you think something's an emergency, 2 other people are.
Well, doesn't it say or a majority? What did you want it to say?
Only a majority of the town board. So it can be you and 2 other members. It can be
Well,
just
no, I
3 of
want
us.
Oh, instead of the supervisor or?
Right.
Well, I'd
Just
like
remove the
I'd like the
wording.
discretion to be able to add things to the agenda, because the way that and that's a great point you're making, Karina, because the way that I'm trying to structure this to help communicate more, and again, we can adjust it, if after the work session on the first Thursday, what I'd like to do is quickly get out the agenda for the next meeting and any resolutions that are prepared and the financials. So there, in my head, the timetable could be as long as 2 weeks. So at the end, a few days before Thursday, the 3rd Thursday of the month, if Richie has a truck breakdown or we have a crisis, something, I want to put that on the agenda right away and get the information out to the town board members. So I want the discretion to do that based on whatever management issue is taking place, maybe in the park or something. We might, if we set an agenda too far in advance, I want to be able to put the stuff that you might not know about if you're not here during the day, but you still want to hear about it at the meeting. So I want to be able to get it on there. I don't think the agenda should be so locked tight.
But I don't think the agenda has to be set 2 weeks prior. I think it should be a very fluid agenda till we've done that till like 1 week prior, and then say, okay, now it's set, and now anything that gets added is by a majority of the town board.
Well, I'm not going to do it that way. I'd like to do it more than 1 week, and I'd like to give people a chance to respond or to talk about it. I think we need to communicate more, and I think we need to communicate more in advance. And it also gives a little more time to get resolutions written so people can actually see the full resolution, which we didn't get to see very often. So I would like to try to do it more often, more regularly, and sooner. And again, if it doesn't work, things can be adjusted, but I think I'd like to try that, and then we'll see how it goes.
The actual writing of the agenda can be modified at any time, but I do think that it should be, at minimum, a majority of the town board members should approve the amendment to the agenda before it be entertained during the meeting.
And why do you think that?
Because in order for the board member to have enough board members that are comfortable with it being an actual emergency, it has the potential to be abused. And I have advocated for this policy. I prefer to see, an actual emergency be approved by the full board before
the whole board?
Yes, before the agenda be. No, we haven't.
No,
and I have proposed this almost annually since I became a board member here, just to prevent the abuse of the agenda being modified last minute.
You mean things taken off or things put on?
Put on.
Put on.
Yeah.
You can take stuff off with it, we can table stuff right here in front of us.
Right.
If the majority agree to that. But to add an agenda item, I studied the agenda, I researched the topics on the agenda. I like to have at least a weekend to do that prior to the meeting, which would make
and you don't want it to change.
Exactly.
Oh,
well,
and you agree with that?
Unless it is an emergency and we all agree that it needs to be entertained and
Yeah, I
are
see what you're
comfortable
saying. What
with
do you
making
think,
that
John?
vote.
I'm fine with very short-term notification. Stuff comes up, and I think we've got to, as a board,
I'm not
we've
saying
got to address it.
that we can't approve it last minute. I'm just saying that
He
it
wants
should
more
be.
people to agree, and he needs a
Exactly,
little
that
time.
it is actually an emergency rather than somebody trying to ram an agenda through that, has the potential to be.
If something isn't good, we're going to vote it down
Well,
anyway.
what we're doing, John, what we're doing here is setting a precedent. If we don't, if we allow it and I'm not comfortable with that.
And
Because if we change it now, it could continue forever.
Correct.
I hear it.
because you can say past practice. And I hear Steve what he's saying, and he's said this consistently for 2 years, is I really do believe for the past 2 years I've sat on the town board that we have tried to be very reasonable, that things do, unfortunately come up, and we can't just say, it's a week ahead of the meeting, forget it, we can't prepare. And we tried, but I think other times we've missed things on highway things, like we've paid more money for things because we weren't able to sit in that moment to be able to read, like, okay, I got 5 minutes to read this, and we missed fine print wording at the bottom of something. So I think Steve's point of a majority of the town board, you are a member of the town board. I understand you're the supervisor, you're here every day, but you hold 20%
I hear you.
of the
That's,
vote.
I get it. So
I
the
think
point
that's
is,
the
though,
majority.
I hear what you're saying. I also think that and I'm perfectly, based on what you said, perfectly willing to change my viewpoint on this. But I do think that we also had trouble before reacting quickly, fine print or no fine print, when we have a truck that's down and we can't get it approved in the next meeting. I find that to be very frustrating as a resident of the town, that a truck sits around without enough, because somebody,
Any piece of equipment.
any piece of equipment. And I think that we have to strive as a town board then. I don't mind a majority, because I think that we have a reasonable majority and entire board.
Right.
But I think that we should try to respond quicker. It would be my viewpoint.
But like in supporting Steve and Karina on this, I sat on that side of the camera for 20 years.
I'm listening, yeah.
And for 20 years, I've seen people come in and say, well, we need this now, and nobody knows what they're talking about. And I've watched members on the board saying, you can't come into us
Well,
and say
that's a little
you
too
need it
last
now."
minute. I agree with you.
I mean, and this is something, I side with Karina and Steve on this one here.
I think that's fine. So I think what we would have to do, because I'm perfectly flexible about that, you're flexible about it, even though we want to get it done
vote
quicker.
to amend the
We have to vote to
resolution
amend it.
by removing that one line.
Well, no, the line will
just
say the majority of the town
Majority of the town
board
board
will
when-
delete
Exactly.
supervisor or, which would be
Yeah.
fine. And then that's good. And, but may add additional agenda items. I think you're focusing on the last minute. I think that at that point, the majority would, it won't be an hour before. It would be a couple days before. It wouldn't be that last minute.
Well, I mean,
Well, and
it
that
could
would
be.
be-
You never know what's going to happen when we walk in this room. Something
Yes.
could have happened that afternoon that
Right.
needs to be addressed. And we have made provisions to address it
Right.
here in the resolution. But it just,
And you feel
for one
comfortable with that?
person, one
Okay.
person to forward.
So the
and it-
timing, you don't want to specify timing. You're comfortable with?
It can be 10 minutes before the meeting if it needs to be, as long as there's enough board members that are comfortable addressing that topic.
I'm fine with that. Are you good? If you're
Yeah,
good with
that's
that. All right. So we need to amend it?
Yeah, just remove
we've
the
already
act
said
of discretion of the
supervisor or.
supervisor. Right, just take the supervisor part out.
Yep, the supervisor or both. And so start with, a majority of the town board, when deemed necessary, may add additional agenda items.
Yes.
And I'll
that-
second, well, if you put that as
I'll
a
put,
motion.
okay, so
and I'll
I make a
second your
motion to change the wording of that last line of 6.5 to a majority of the town board, when deemed necessary, may add additional agenda items.
Second, you second? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. So now we go back to
Now we vote on the resolution.
the entire resolution 18-6. Who did, was it seconded?
Dave seconded
I
it.
second.
Steve read it, Dave seconded it.
Okay. Everybody in agreement? We finished discussion?
Yep, ready to vote?
Ready to vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries. 16, or what was that, 18? 18-6, motion carries. All right,
Thanks for reading all that, Steve.
Steve, you get the marathon award.
Yeah, you got the.
All right, public discussion. Does anybody have anything they'd like to say? Yes? Would you like to come up and sit right there? That microphone will pick it up.
Good evening.
Hello.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I'd like to thank Andrea.
Just state who you are and where you live.
Ann McCabe. I live on Darren Road. I'd like to thank Andrea for her help there were 13 minutes missing from the November 9th Town Board meeting in Unionville. It was put, the missing pieces were not identified as missing. It was first put up on YouTube, that particular November 9th meeting, as being a full meeting minutes. In fact, it was not. Of the 13 minutes which were not there, some of those were minutes which I took to talk about printed material which worked to the detriment of the town by being gossipy, not researched, assigning motives without talking to people. And part of it was a really interesting rendition of an anonymous letter by Betsy Moss.
No, I read it. You mean